Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, the holidays are far gone and the seasonal depression is beginning to set in. Let's change that. As many of you that live in PA would know right now, it's 23 degrees where I'm at right now. And that means that there's not going to be a whole lot of motorcycle content. But that just means that we need to set some goals for the year that's upcoming. We're past the 2026 resolution stage, and it's time to get serious about your year. It's time to set goals for the new year. One thing that I hate is when people start off the new year saying, oh, 2026 is going to be so great. I can feel it. 2025 was such a crappy year. You know, people were saying the same exact thing at the beginning of 2025. And next thing you know, it's like halfway through the year and they're like, I can't wait for this year to be over. No, stop. Just change that. One of the things that people refuse to do is to set goals. They might have some goals set in their head, but they never actually do anything with these goals. They just stay up there. So one of the things that I think is important to do is to write them down. But why write them down? When you write your goals down, you're elaborating on them from what you have, these little ideas in your mind. You physically have an expansion of what you were thinking, right? And you can add to them later on. You also have a checklist of all the things that have been in your head. So you can, once you complete something, you can check it right off. Check the next thing off. Check the next thing off. But on top of that, you have accountability. You can see everything that you have and have not done, which is really important. Why are you doing what you're doing? Especially when you're setting goals. Is what you're doing honoring to God? Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31, he says, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Is what we are doing honoring to God? Speaking specifically on my goals for the coming year, I have some general goals, and then I'm going to break into detail. So goal number 1 is to share more about my faith. Specifically, I'd love to use YouTube more to honor God. I've been posting videos, and I apologize that I haven't been posting like, you know, your average everyday YouTuber, but it's not maybe my top priority right now. Top priority is school. But I want to use my YouTube to honor God. I think it would be really cool to do. Something else I've thought about doing is potentially starting like a podcast-esque kind of thing. Not necessarily like posted podcast, but get together with some friends and stuff, share some opinions, maybe start like a riding group and share a little bit about like our faith and stuff like that. I think that would be a really cool thing to do. Number two, I would love to create more riding content, and it's a goal that I intend on achieving. One of the first things that comes to mind is bike reviews. I've got some friends that have some bikes along with mine. I'd love to do some group rides, maybe swap out bikes and see what we think of each other's bikes. I think that'd be fun. Also, just to be able to get together with friends and to ride to some of my favorite places and just get to check out those things. I think it would be something that would be a lot of fun. And on top of that, you have some of the beautiful places that you get to check out. You know, that makes for some great content. Another thing that I started doing last year was maintenance videos, which is really important for maintaining your vehicle, specifically in my case, motorcycles. I'd love to continue with some of that stuff, along with like some bike builds. I think it would be really cool to find some fixers, potentially on Marketplace or something like that, and just learn about them, you know, tear them apart, rebuild them, and of course ride a little bit, but then, you know, sell them, stuff like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. As I mentioned before, riding with friends would be a lot of fun. I think that could make for some cool content too. So something else that I think is important for setting goals is setting financial goals. So I won't go into any specifics because my financial goals are, for one, they're kind of personal, but also it's different for everybody. But let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in potentially hearing about some stuff for setting financial goals. What are you interested in learning about? I think that YouTube is a great platform to learn together. If you're interested in something, drop it in the comments. That's something that I could always look up and we could learn together. I'm all about learning. Also, hold me accountable, because my goal is to post like once a month. I know like everybody's like,
oh, you gotta post multiple times a week, once a day, something like that.
I don't have the guts for that. I don't have the energy for that. I got other things in life that I want to do too. So it's not my top priority in that aspect. And I think that the quality of the content can kind of downgrade if you are focusing on the quantity. So yeah, I would like to post more, and I think that once a month is a solid goal. That's like minimum. So hold me accountable if I'm not posting. Send me something. Give me a little kick. So one of the things that I think is really important is the only thing that's stopping us is ourselves. Especially, like, I know everybody has their own stories and environments and stuff like that, but something my boss asked me one day, he said, what is stopping you from whatever you want to learn? Most of the time it's going to be you. And when you think about that, it really changes your outlook on life and the things that we learn. I remember right after that, I had been studying winemaking for like a year, and I've had all the supplies. I just literally needed to sit down and do it. And that night, I went home and I brewed my first batch of wine. And I learned a lot from that, and I've been doing it ever since. But what is stopping you from achieving your goals? If it's money, figure out how to budget for your goals. If it's time, there's always time. You just need to be willing to sacrifice it. Write down your goals. How do you want to honor God with what you do too, is another one of my biggest questions. But as far as goals go, what are some of your goals for the new year? Comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. And again, sorry for not posting for a while. I'm trying to get on it. But as of right now, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. That's all for now. Now get out there, and God bless.